So my name is Kaleigh Vera. This is my husband John Vera, and these are our twins. This is Estelle, and that's Michael. They were born at the beginning of May, on May 2nd, 2022. They were preemies. I was 35 weeks and 5 days. Michael luckily was able to come back to the room with us. He did so good. He ate really good. He latched really well. Stella had a little bit of trouble regulating her temperature. So she went to the NICU, and she was in the NICU for just under 2 weeks. Luckily, it was like best case scenario for a NICU stay. It was really just that she wasn't great at taking her bottles, and obviously we needed to make sure that she was getting the nutrients that she needed. I breastfed Michael throughout the whole stay. He latched really well. Everyone was really impressed because especially at that age and gestation, you kind of got a 50-50 shot of whether that's going to work out for you or not. So it went really well. I latched a couple times with Estelle in the NICU, but for the most part, I was just so concerned with her getting the nutrients that she needed. So we really focused on bottle feeding with her so that we could safely bring her home. My breastfeeding journey when I got home, I only had Michael at home for a week, so I was only breastfeeding him, but I was breastfeeding and then bottle feed supplementing because I wasn't producing enough, and then I was simultaneously pumping at every feed. It was a lot, but it was worth it. Like he was doing such a good job, so I knew that he was getting something. Whatever it was worth it. And then once we got Stella home, I would breastfeed both of them. One would get on one side, take turns, and then we would supplement with bottle feeding, and then I would pump. So that was our routine once we got home. Slowly but surely, I've now kind of gone to exclusive pumping. They each I still don't produce very much, but what I do produce I think is worth giving them. So they each get 1 bottle a day. That's it. But it's something, all right? And then other than that, they do formula. And like I said, they're gaining weight, they're getting the nutrients that they need, and what I can give them is exciting. And they love it. It's like way better than before. They're like chugging it. From the beginning, I will say that John is my #1 breastfeeding supporter for sure. I couldn't have done it without him. Even just like, especially with twins, like, here, take this one, hand me that one. And or once they were done, one was done breastfeeding, then he's like, I still got to eat a bottle before he starts screaming his head off. So it's like he immediately will start bottle feeding while I'm breastfeeding the other one. So it's definitely big time team effort, like, for sure. The other thing is sleep, especially with twins. We were both getting up every 3 hours, and we were both feeding one, and we just came to find that it was not realistic at all. So one would do one feed on their own, and I just wouldn't breastfeed that time, and then vice versa for the other one. Like, I would do both, but I wouldn't breastfeed both at the same time. It was just impossible. But at least that way we got a chunk of sleep. So we're finding our groove, we're getting there, but sleep is definitely important because your brain kind of stops working.
Yeah, and the nurses warn you about that because your kids are born, you think that you're going to be able to just like power through and love will get you there, but after a couple of days you realize how exhausted you actually are, and you don't parent as well when you're that tired. You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And just the support they gave us and gave you in helping you breastfeed, and little tips and tricks they gave me for how to support you and how to bottle feed properly, use the burp cloth. I mean, these are little things that you take for granted, and as first time parents, it was invaluable advice and just nothing but a positive experience we had here.
Absolutely. I was going to say that for everyone around, and we're not just saying that just because we're in this video. Like, this hospital, it's great. Like, I work at a school that's really small because you get the attention that you need, and I felt that way about Bellevue. You get that one-on-one from the techs to the doctors. Like, everyone was top-notch, positive attitude, there to help you, never made you feel bad for anything. And as far as the lactation consultants, there was one every shift. You got one in the day and you got one at night. You could call them if you needed to, but other than that, they went out of their way. We'd be in the NICU with Stella, and they would pop in and be like, hey, what's going on? Like, how you doing? Do you need any questions? They would like look stuff up for me. My breast didn't fit the flange. I need to get like a special order flange that didn't, like, I had to match with the medalla. It was a whole thing. So just like super accommodating, was there if you need them, and just like like I said, I wasn't producing much, but everyone's like pumped for what you got. Like, it was just the best. All positive things for sure. I would say what I wish that everyone knew, even including myself, is you kind of go into it with an idea of what you think it's going to be. And I'm gonna assume that probably like 99% of the time it never is gonna go that way. So just be prepared for that. But also like set goals for yourself. You should be like doing your research and think about like ideally what you'd like to get accomplished, and set short-term goals. Like my goal was like originally I want to breastfeed for 2 weeks. Like that's it. And if I could do that, that's great. And then it was a month, and now like I said, I'm just pumping. It's like I want to just pump for my maternity leave, and then after that, and then we'll just see where I'm at and where the babies are at, and just go from there. Like set yourself up for success, and short-term goals will get you there for sure.
And I'd say every baby is different, and that baby is different day to day. So as twins, you'd think like they'd be, we were lucky enough just to get them on the same schedule, but they hardly ever drank the same amount each of those feeds or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
And one day, one is crushing bottles, and the next, they're not.
Yep.
And you just have to accept that that's a reality of they're just little humans, and sometimes we're hungry and sometimes we're not, and you can't force it. And you just have to roll with the punches.
For sure.
For the benefit of the child.
Yep. Good advice.